Okay, you've managed to find your way to my channel and you're here because the thumbnail is telling you how to get out of this market with more money than you know what to do with. Well, this is the game plan. This is going to take you through some of the key things you need to be aware of, what to keep your eye out for, and more importantly, how to exit this market with those bags packed and that life-changing gains. We're not here to round trip anything this time. Equally, we're not here to be exit liquidity. We are here to make those gains, and I've got the absolute strategy you guys need to be aware of. So go ahead, bookmark this video, and if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. We break down the markets every day, keeping your portfolio dialed in this bull market. But this video, well, it's simply about what to keep your eye out on and get out with those bags absolutely packed. That being said, let's get into the video. So just for context, I want to take you back over the last two bull markets. I've been investing in the crypto market since 2017, and actually I'm on my third time lucky. The first one was a disaster. I sold everything and got scammed out of it all. The second one, I didn't take profits when I should have done. So if you need some advice, well, this isn't financial, but it certainly comes from experience. Two bull markets and I didn't do well. This one, I'm not missing out. We have our bags packed. We've been building for 3.5 years, and I want to share that with you. My strategy is exactly how and what I'm looking at to make sure that when we exit this bull market, we're leaving nothing on the table. Now, starting here, the bull market peak indicators, for many of you that have been part of this channel, you know I've talked about some of these and how they can align our focus and strategies to understand exactly when we should be thinking of exiting the market. Remember, loads of time people are going to be telling you that we're going to the moon, euphoria takes over, and you make bad decisions. Education and, more importantly, having a bit of humility will absolutely go a long way. Who cares about going to the moon when your bags are already packed, they're in the trunk, and you're off on your way to a brand new cruise? So we're not going to dive into all of these, but we are going to take some of the key ones you need to be aware of. But basically, these are 30 indicators that tell us when the market cycle top is here, as opposed to the previous two market cycles that we've been through. Just for reference, not one of them is telling us the market cycle top is in. So let's break down some of those key charts. Let's walk and talk these key things you guys need to be aware of. So the first thing that we always need to be keeping an eye on is our Bitcoin dominance chart. This ultimately is the amount of money going into Bitcoin versus any other altcoins, in particular Ethereum and everyone else. History tells us, if you take 2021 as an example, the top of the bull market came in as BTC dominance dropped. And this is an important reference. If BTC dominance is collapsing sub 50%, this is generally a good indication that the market is starting to cool down. The bulls are exhausted and people simply aren't interested in Bitcoin anymore. This is the 4-year cycle. However, capital rotates into Ethereum and other altcoins, and we get that last big push for an altcoin move. You can see how that played out over the course of 2021 and then into the pit of the bear market. BTC dominance stays down and no one really cares. And we see altcoin dominance start to come back as well. So this is a critical part of understanding exactly where we are. You can see the rally up to where we sit at the minute, where we see some dips in the market as altcoins start to move. But the reality is there is a long way to go. But this is critical to understanding when the market is. Align that to our alt season. And again, this firmly plays out as you see altcoins spike where the market cycle top is in. You simply don't get a euphoric phase on Bitcoin and altcoins at the same time. They absolutely move opposite to each other. And when altcoins pump, that's when we need to be mindful of where Bitcoin sits. Altcoin index is going to tell us roughly when altcoins are moving in a key measure. By the way, just for reference, we're nowhere near that point. Some of the other things, long-term holders, those people that have held their bags for the longest time, start to exit positions. 2021 was a perfect example of that, where we start to see big wallets selling off. This should ring alarm bells to you to understand this is my moment. This isn't about listening to the crappy Twitter influencer telling you that they've made $1 million and they're absolutely going to the moon. This is understanding where you are, looking at the smart money and asking the question, why are those people that have held for such a long time selling their positions right now? This is a key metric, one of the most important metrics I think you'll get in the entire bull market cycle. One of the easiest metrics is to understand what's happening from the apps. Remember, people are brand new to the market. They're your exit liquidity. Those people that didn't grind through the bear market, that didn't work hard when everyone told you crypto was a scam, they are the ones going to be flooding into Coinbase. Take 2021 as an example. The Coinbase app, it's #1 in the finance sector and everybody's downloading it to buy Shiba Inu, Bitcoin, everything else. And what we can see here is the Coinbase app skyrockets in its recent and ranking on the US App Store. We're nowhere near that right now, but it is important to understand when everyone is telling you and asking you about cryptocurrency, those alarm bells need to be going off. And by the way, that corresponds perfectly to the decline in M2 liquidity. This is where money printing stops, recession fears come back in, and interest rates are probably going to go back up. Yes, it's bullish right now that Jerome Powell might cut rates and that money is flowing into the market. This ultimately will define the next bear market as inflation rates will go back up, the economy will tighten, and everyone will panic again the fact that we're going into a recession. Watch out. M2 liquidity, everyone tells you is going up. Look out for when it turns, because no one is going to tell you. Don't forget as well, we're going to watch the fear and greed index. This is going to tell you where the market sentiment is. We should be massively over greedy in the market. Everybody wants Bitcoin, but no one wants to sell. This is your moment to think, I am going to buck the trend. I'm going to be my own wolf and not a sheep and follow the rest. We can see back in 2021, the fear and greed index was skyrocketing and everyone was saying we were going to the moon. Then we see the collapse on the back of that to the bear market. These are key indicators we need to be aware of. When that fear and greed index is at all-time high, this is your moment to think, do I need to be removing risk? Capital preservation becomes the most important term you will hear. Not moonshot, capital preservation. And these are some of the key indicators. One of the most obvious ones, by the way, is when you get people buying NFTs like 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, Snoop Dogg, as well as Justin Bieber, DJ Khaled, spending millions of dollars on NFTs, all the latest shitcoin that's come out. This should be an absolute red flag. And when Madonna decides to buy an NFT, you know the market cycle top is in, and this is your moment to start to exit those positions. So if we were to summarize what that looks like, how do you get out of this bull market with the most amount of capital? Well, it's easy. You follow this video and you make sure you are looking at the macro signs and forget what everyone's telling you. Are long-term holders selling their positions? Are all the celebrities telling you crypto is the next biggest thing? And more importantly, where is that Coinbase app? These are some of the key things that we will be watching throughout this bull market to make sure that when the time comes, we exit our positions with no emotion and no looking back, because you, as well as I do, want to get out of this bull market with more money than we know what to do with. So with that being said, make sure that you bookmark this video. Let me know if you think anything else I've missed. I'm always curious, and make sure you follow and subscribe to this channel. As ever, we'll be keeping you posted on exactly what I'm doing and, more importantly, what I see in the market. And if that's something you're interested in, come along with us and join the journey. So until next time, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.